What up, tubers? This is Ray, the old DOS Geek. Rayware Computers since 1996. Okay. I had some people asking me how to transfer a WordPress site. If you've seen any of my videos, you'll know me and WordPress, we're like an old married couple that hate each other and just live together because it's cheaper. Okay. This was an old blog that I had on this site here, 357news.com. I probably shouldn't change it. I don't really use it. I only use it for training stuff. It's got this was a pre-formatted blog. In other words, you migrate this blog into your site and it's already filled up with affiliate links and different things like that. And it was pretty cheap too. It was like, I don't know, $12, $17. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this site here, and this is my AmericanMailOrder.org site. And again, I mess around with these sites, just put anything up on it for training purposes. Okay, usually. I don't really, market my websites anymore. All right, so I host with Bluehost. Now, if you click the link below Bluehost, you sign up through me. Everybody knows this by now. I'll get a small commission. It's all the same price to you. But in addition, you'll get free tech support for life from me. Okay. So let's create a site. Now this 357 site, I already deleted it off my WordPress. This is all in cache right now. Okay. So I only did it a couple of minutes ago. Okay. All right, so I'm going to migrate that site there. Okay. That's going to be in the title right here. Okay. Now this particular theme, which I believe I made another website about that theme. I forget the guy's name, but he's an old timer. He made up that theme, and it's pretty good. Now again, I just did this moments ago, so sometimes it could take up to 24 hours, so don't get frustrated if things don't work out when you do this computer and internet stuff. Okay, let's see if this works. Again, and I host with Bluehost. What you want to do is you want to learn, dig into any platform that you use. Okay, let's hope I picked the right 357 News. Okay, so we're gonna log in. Now, what you need to do first, okay, so I'm going to come here, I'm going to do this first, okay. Normally, you're going to want to get rid of all your posts that's on it. Now, this is a fresh site, okay, so let's go back and refresh it and see if we can, actually, let me do this. I could do it from here probably. I'm going to open it in an incognito window, and if anybody doesn't know what that is, okay. Alright, so it's showing me this. Okay, see, that was all in the cache. Okay, so this is where we're at now. Okay, if you look up here, 357. Okay, so let's go back to it. And you're going to want to delete any posts that are in there. Okay, we're going to apply. Okay, any pages that are in here. I don't think there's any media in there, but we're going to check the media as well. We're going to apply. Okay. Oh, I hate pop-up advertisements. Okay, so that's that. So let's check the media library. There's probably not any in there. Okay. Yeah, generic site. Okay, another pop-up advertising. Then we're going to go to our themes. I'm just going to go down the line on this side panel. And we're going to get rid of all these other things. We don't want them to possibly get in the way. Okay, now I'm just messing around with these sites. I'm using them for demonstration on tutorials. But you know, this could be a serious thing. If you got a website you worked on, or you're doing it for somebody as a business, you know, you got to be real careful when you do these kind of things. Okay, so now dismiss that. I'm going to get rid of all these plugins except for the Bluehost. Okay, so let's deactivate the ones that need to be deactivated first. Okay, and then we're going to select them all. And again, make sure you look through these carefully if you don't need any information off of it. If you're using like a, you know, an email form, you know, make sure you got all the emails backed up on everything, you know. And it's pertinent to do this with everything, your iPhones and so forth. Okay. Okay, so, and for me, like, long story short, years ago, the old DOS Geek, when he was a young DOS Geek, I accidentally wiped out my main computer and all my files and everything, and I only had one backup. The problem was I was in California. My backup was in New Jersey. Okay, and there was no way to send it across the internet back then because it was a 2400 modem. Okay, and I literally cried like a baby when that happened. Okay, so plugins, so that should be all for that. Okay, so now while we're in plugins, okay, I'm going to add new on this one first. And remember, this is our, what they call the target site. Okay, this is the target site, 357news.com. Okay, and if you look down here on the bottom, when I hold the mouse up over that, 357news.com, right? So we're going to go to the all-in-one migration. See if I spelled that right. Okay, all-in-one WordPress migration. Whoops, I didn't want to do that like that. We're going to install it. And this is just to prep this for when we're ready to go to the other site. Okay, so we got the two of them going on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my Bluehost here and open it in a separate window. I don't recommend that you do this like this with the separate window. Okay, because things get funny. Okay, we don't want anything getting funny. Okay, now I'm going to go to my sites, and again, in different hosting, this could look completely different. Okay. Okay, so we got the deep state here. Now what I did with the other one is, because this is just a heading, I put, what is the deep state? Okay, see here? What is the deep state? Just so you know, there's a little bit difference going on with it. You always got to be aware of what you're working on, okay? Like I used to tell my students when I taught computers in person, take your hand off the mouse and observe the whole entire screen at a time. Don't get click happy. Okay, so this is the site. We're going to want to go to plugins. This is the site we're going to want to back up, right? See the deep state up there? If you look on the bottom, it says AmericanMailOrder.org. Okay, if you look up here, my WordPress URL, it says AmericanMailOrder.org. Now, of course, I only got one plug in there. That's all I need. Which is interesting. Okay, so now we're going to go now. I actually have this plugin downloaded to my computer, which you can do. You can download pretty much all the plugins that there is. And I believe I actually got it from Wordpress.org. Okay, so it's working. It's in. Okay, we're in AmericanMailOrder.org. Now, I believe I had backed this up in the past. Now, this is also a great way to back up your websites as well, your WordPress websites. Okay, HTML is easy. All you do is zip it up in a file. All right, so we're going to go to export. Okay, now it's not going to, when it says export, it really means copy in the file. Okay, and like I said, I've done it in the past to back it up. And what you could do when you're learning and you're practicing, okay, how big? 19 megabytes. Okay, it's good to back it up. Okay, so I got it in here already. So let's just overwrite that file. Okay, and on average, if this was anything up to a gigabyte, it could take a couple minutes now. I use the Fios, okay, Xfinity, and I'm working on a Windows 7 computer. Okay. All right. Did it do it? I think it did it. Looks good. All right. Is it showing it? Looks like it finished. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to my other site. Okay. I'm going to go back here. Now, see, what is the deep state? You see the difference in them? Okay, this one just says deep state. And again, I recommend, let me pin this up out of the way. I recommend that you do that. Okay, change the name of it a little bit because it's just a title name. It's basically going to be, the title name as far as in your dashboard where you're hosting. Okay. All right, so here we are. What is the deep state? 357news.com. Okay. Now we're gonna go to the plugins all in one, right? Now you can do it right from the menu, of course. Okay, but we're gonna go to import, and we're gonna import it. Now remember, we already deleted all of our blog posts, we've already deleted all our pictures if you have any, and we've already deleted all of our web pages that are on that site. Okay. And again, if this was, like, some sites are very large, and it takes a tremendous amount of time to do this. That's why a lot of people get discouraged. Okay. Not sure. Alright, so it's going to tell you the import process will overwrite your website, including the database, media, plugins, themes. Please ensure that you have a backup of your data. Okay, so we did that already. So we're going to proceed. Site has been imported successfully. Okay, see permalink structures. Okay, optional review. Okay, so let's go. Now this is in a regular window. Let's see if we did it correctly. And spam. 357 news. Okay. And we're going to go here. See this? Now, this particular one, it's not logged in. It's in like an incognito window. Okay. So, I just mirrored that site. Okay. Now, again, I use WordPress. I use Bluehost. If you sign up through me with Bluehost, you'll get free tech support for life. So this is Ray, the old DOS geek, Ray worked computers since 1996. I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe. Hit that notification button. Hey, that's because YouTube tells me to tell you guys that.